Hello, my name is Helen Woodland, and the other members of my group are Mitchell Gutierrez, Jared Scott, and Riley Richards. This is our current event video for Group 6. The current event we will be discussing today is the acquisition of LinkedIn by Microsoft. As I'm sure you have heard about or read about in the news, Microsoft recently acquired LinkedIn for $26.2 billion, making it the third largest acquisition in the tech industry. Microsoft hopes to use the data that LinkedIn acquires through its network of customers to better relationships with Microsoft's own clients. But many people are wondering if this deal is a good decision, especially given Microsoft's poor history of managing acquisitions such as Skype or Nokia. We have decided to analyze this deal and see if Microsoft has the ability to properly manage this acquisition and profit from it. We will be applying the management concepts of related diversification and risk propensity to see if this deal was worth making. Related diversification is a management strategy in which an organization operates in several businesses that are somehow linked together. LinkedIn CEO Jeff Weiner said that LinkedIn and Microsoft have virtually identical mission statements, and he believes that this similarity is why the deal will succeed. My group member Jared will be exploring how related diversification could help make this deal successful. On the other hand, risk propensity is the extent to which a decision maker is willing to gamble when making a decision. Many believe Microsoft paid too much and risked too much for a company that has had multiple setbacks. My group member Mitchell will be exploring how Microsoft could have risked too much and how this deal could end up going badly. And finally, my group member Riley will be concluding with a wrap-up of the concepts and an overview of the deal.
Hello, my name is Jared Scott, and I will be discussing why the LinkedIn deal will be successful for both Microsoft and LinkedIn. Microsoft is one of the top tech companies in the world. It is well known for its computer applications and video gaming devices. Since establishment, Microsoft has had its hands in many different companies and projects, making it very diversified. As a whole, Microsoft's diversification is related. In recent years, Microsoft has purchased multiple tech companies such as Nokia in 2014 for $7.2 billion and Yammer for $1 billion. Being diversified reduces risk, and having your diversity related only helps reduce the volatility of an asset's price movement. In the month of June, Nadella, the relatively new CEO of Microsoft, has come to the decision to pay $26.2 billion for the business social media site LinkedIn. Although the purchase is rather alarming to some due to past business transactions, it could be a great investment for the Microsoft company. When the idea was being discussed, Nadella and the LinkedIn CEO, Jeff Weiner, discovered they both had very similar mission statements. For LinkedIn, it was about connecting world's professionals to make them more productive, and for Microsoft, it was looking to empower the world's individuals to allow them to be more successful. These mission statements are different, but they both strive for the common goal of bettering the business world. What makes this deal so good for Microsoft is that it will allow LinkedIn to run independently like other companies, but they will still be involved with daily business transactions. So with this deal, Microsoft is expanding its product line with the purchase of LinkedIn under the social media and business sector, creating more related diversification in the company's assets. Thank you.
Many arguments have been made as to whether or not Microsoft, who has a propensity for bad acquisitions, made a risky decision by acquiring the social media network LinkedIn. Risk propensity defines itself as the extent to which a decision maker is willing to gamble when making a decision. The high level of risk propensity of this deal prompts me to explain why I believe this deal may not be one of the safest. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said a key part in the acquisition is accelerating LinkedIn's growth. He wants LinkedIn to become a place to go for news and other details about people's work lives. But let's face it, firms are highly unlikely to want to give their employees more of an excuse to spend time on social media. In addition, some firms see LinkedIn as a threat to their business because it makes money from recruiters who target their workforce. To prevent the networking app from further embedding itself at these larger companies, many have decided to formally forbid access to LinkedIn. Current analysts are projecting a significant growth for Microsoft's cloud enterprise software and vice versa, but no clear strategic plan has been implemented yet. Despite being short in his memo about the acquisition, Nadella stated, "I can't wait to see what our teams dream up when we can begin working together once the deal closes." Microsoft's subpar track record of acquisitions correlates with this deal having a notoriously high level of risk propensity aimed towards substantial loss. For example, in 2017, Microsoft purchased Aquantive for $6.3 billion. Not only was this purchase a bust, it displayed how inept Microsoft is at running an online advertising business despite its push to grow the search engine Bing. In 2011, Microsoft purchased Skype, nor has this purchase demonstrated levels of overwhelming success. Lastly, and more recently, Microsoft purchased Nokia's handset division for $7.6 billion in 2014. Microsoft figured owning the hardware and software from Nokia's smartphones would allow the company to emulate their top competitor, Apple. Unfortunately, that vision was never executed. In terms of financial aspects of the deal, Microsoft has given up a little under a third of their revenue to acquire a company that has yet to profit. LinkedIn uses stock-based compensation to pay their employees. While that makes the company's earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization look good, the net income just doesn't add up. In addition, LinkedIn's revenue growth for 2016 is projected to slow by more than 10 points to 24.5%, followed by another drop to 19.6% the following year. Microsoft so far has failed to propose a clear strategic plan to successfully create synergies between itself and LinkedIn. Unfortunately, they may have found themselves with yet another high-priced mistake in the mergers and acquisitions market, allowing me to value this deal as way too risky with an extremely high level of risk propensity targeting significant loss.
In conclusion, the acquisition of LinkedIn by Microsoft can be looked at from two different perspectives, the positive perspective and the negative perspective. Believers in the acquisition will talk about how it can thrive because LinkedIn will be operating independently of Microsoft. Even with Microsoft's putrid history of acquisitions, they have never used this method of letting the new company work independently within them. Allowing LinkedIn more freedom sounds like the perfect way to smooth the transition into Microsoft, but only time will tell. This strategy of related diversification should allow Microsoft to reduce their economic risk while simultaneously exploiting the strengths of LinkedIn. People that doubt the new purchase can succeed will point to the risk propensity of the deal, arguing that it was too big of a gamble. There is a certain amount of risk in every deal, but for this deal in particular, it seems to be relatively high. Everyone looks at risk propensity differently, meaning that some professionals will think it is a smart gamble, while others look at the deal as yet another flop on the part of Microsoft. Clearly, the decision maker in this deal was acting aggressively and willing to take the risk of acquiring LinkedIn. This is a huge gamble for the company because if it works out, then the company has successfully expanded into new markets. But if it fails, the company is on the line for more than $26 billion. What Microsoft is essentially hoping for in this deal is to expand their cloud computing while concurrently drifting away from their Windows platform. Microsoft felt that the company was not attacking the new age of mobile devices and cloud computing under former CEO Steve Ballmer. This acquisition signals a shift toward the modern age under the new reign of Satya Nadella. However you interpret the purchase, Microsoft is clearly taking major steps to catch up in this ever-changing mobile world.